So, Strange New Worlds flew into another mission. And basically, there's this comet, and it's on a collision course with this planet that has a pre-warp society on there. So they figure, hey, let's just give the comet a nudge so that it misses the planet and then be on about our business. So that's the idea. So they fire some torpedoes to give it that nudge, but suddenly the comet has shields. Uh-oh, something's up. They beam down an away team. They discover it's some sort of sentient life form in there. What the hell is this? And there's some sort of bizarre alien language there, and they need Uhura to figure it out. And it's her first mission, so she's all nervous and scared and stuff, despite being declared the best damn cadet who ever got out of the academy. Better than thousands of others who could have had the position. But she's lacking in confidence in herself and doesn't know that she really wants to be in Starfleet at all. But she's really impressive and stuff. She is in constant need of people telling her she's great. This is this rinse, lather, repeat formula they go through with their characters. It's not as bad as some others, but God, is it tiring. So, of course, she figures out the language. It's musical in nature and all that sort of. She sings, and Spock sings with her and all that. Whatever. Turns out the Comet is apparently a god to this other race that shows up in their ginormous, far superior starship. And the Enterprise is saying, hey, we're trying to save those people on the planet. And the aliens say, or they call themselves the Shepherds. And they do that so that Pike can make a joke. Really? Yeah. So anyway, that's what they say. Well, whatever the will of Mahint, or whatever his name is, the Comet, is as it is. And they will not interfere, and they won't allow the Enterprise to do it either. And so they got to figure out how to get around them and all this stuff. And through a series of events, they figure out how to do it, only to discover later that the Comet had already preordained what they did. Spock has to go and do some maneuvers in the shuttle to get him to go and all this stuff. And then there's dumb, campy stuff where they explain to Spock earlier about jokes about really, awful things. And Pike explains that sometimes things are so bad that you just have to laugh about it. And so they hear Spock laughing over the communicator. Even though the situation wasn't that bad that he was in, yeah, okay, so they do all that. And the other main part is Uhura coming into her own and getting confidence in her ability to be a part of the crew. And then Spock tells her how great she is at the end and all that. Yeah, the plot in and of itself, that the Comet turned out to be some kind of god to these people and may have actually been some sort of divine being, or certainly far more advanced than anybody else involved. In better hands, that could have worked out okay. That's kind of a Star Trek episode. But they're just not capable of it. It's a better effort than they have in any of the other shows they've produced. But they just can't get there. Stupid things that take you out of it. And the whole stuff with Uhura and everything. It toned it down a little. Would have been fine, I suppose. But the idea that they push her into such a position that it makes it seem like she's an incompetent candidate for the position she's in by her own admission. So you're tearing her down too much to build her back up. So they don't know how to do it, And it's like, she's so good. She advanced better than everyone else, and yet she's terrified of getting into the transporter. She's terrified of going on to the service of a comet. And it's you don't understand what you signed up for? It's just too stupid. The other thing that's blatantly obvious that they've done this with both episodes is that it's predominantly a female-led cast. The men are there for jokes and humor, even though Pike is the only thing he gets is his, his thoughts being dominated by his fate to end up in that chair and all that type of stuff, even though it's 10 years away. So he's pretty safe until then. But anyway, that's about it. As Peck tries his best to do Spock, and he has better moments in this episode than he did in the last one. But it on the bridge crew, it's mostly what's her name, Ortega and Noonan Singh. They come up with everything. They figure everything out just about. Chapel is already flirting with Spock, and Uhura was like trying to encourage Spock to go for it or something like that. So once again, of course, this only works as an alternate universe. There's just no attempt whatsoever to make it fit. They just throw around stuff like, hey, remember that, remember this, and stuff like that from the show. Yes, I do, but this doesn't fit. So at this point in this alternate universe, you might as well do it to where Kirk never takes command of the Enterprise. It's just an entirely different adventure, But that's not what they're going to do. So it's just. So yeah, there's that it relegates them into these positions, and so that's a line they've put for themselves, and the characters can't advance any further because it violates their weird cult-like approach to storytelling. And that's pretty much it. But the problem is it's detrimental to the character of Pike, because after a while it's like, why is he in command anymore? He's just standing there, and you got to demonstrate. Hard to believe I'm saying this, but he actually had better moments in STD. It was brief, and that's why people cling to Anson Mount. He's like, well, here's the bright spot. Here's the guy. This is what you need. And so they put him in what should be his show for the most part, and so far they're not really doing him justice here. If he's the captain, he needs to be seen and portrayed as the captain, and they're not doing that. So, and Himmer had a few more things. He's the new character. He's an asshole, and that's it. He's supposed to be funny, and so another comic relief character. Dr. Mbenga, he's hardly there at all. So I don't know. That's about it. So, again, it almost had a Star Trek plot, but they just don't know how to do it. And that's that. The effects look cool. And that's it.